Hey, what's going on? So in today's video, we are going to be installing a bulb in this Optoma HD27 projector. This projector is very dear to me. It's been probably the best projector I've ever owned. I've had it for 4 years. It's been on my ceiling of my living room that whole time. Absolutely no problems with it. It's way out of warranty at this point. Has just worked phenomenally. It's a 3D projector. The kids love wearing the 3D glasses, and it's just a great projector all around. However, when you finally get to the point where the thing is like, hey, I need a new bulb, it comes up and it says lamp life exceeded, right around 5,500 hours for us, and we've been running it full brightness this whole time. It is hard to find the actual bulb that went in it. Optoma doesn't even have it on their website anymore. I would love to get a bulb from them, but I couldn't find it on their website. So then I'm like, I'm over on Amazon looking. I'm gonna have a link down in the description of the bulb that we're installing today. Let's give this a go and cross our fingers. Hopefully it all works out and we get this thing another 4 years on my ceiling in my living room. I would recommend wearing some type of eye protection, ideally a full face shield, and some gloves. The oils on your fingers, if it put on this bulb, could potentially cause it to explode. Now, I'm not going to say that happens a lot, but it can happen. It can possibly happen later, destroying your projector. Better safe than sorry. Okay, let's get into it. All right, first things first, this is the area where the bulb resides. And if this is the first time you've removed that, there'll be this little white sticker right here that you'll have to poke through or remove. And behind there is a little Phillips head screw that you'll untwist. It doesn't come all the way out, but you have to go far enough for it to stop. And then once you get to that point, you should just be able to pull on this. If it doesn't come out, if it doesn't lift up like this, you'll probably have to do a few more turns on that screw. And then behind there, you'll see here is the housing which holds the bulb. So I'm going to zoom in on that. So right here is a little handle that you can pull up, and that'll help you to pull out the bulb. There's a screw right here that we'll have to take out, as well as we'll have to unhook the power to the bulb right here. So there's like 2 clips on each side, on the left and the right here. It should come pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and put my gloves back on and undo the screw. This one does not come out all the way either. And now if you just give it a little bit of a pull, it should come right up out of there. So here we go. Here is the existing bulb that I've had that's lasted me for quite a long time. And we're gonna have to remove it from this housing. So there's actually gonna be several screws in here that we have to remove in order to get the bulb out. So these 2 here on the top need removed. 1 here on the side. The bottom. And at this point, this part should come apart. So you want to be very careful. You definitely don't want to touch the bulb, even with these gloves on. So it'll run at 190 watts or 160 watts. That 0.8 is the arc number. I was trying to find these same numbers, and I just couldn't find this exact bulb. So the one that I got is pretty close to this. You'll see that this bulb is stamped that it is made by Philips. You have to take out these 3 screws here, here, and here in order to remove this bulb from the assembly. Now, just pay attention to how this is oriented here. This is the bottom, this is the top, and then the cabling comes out on this side. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to very carefully sit that aside. Oh, and by the way, it looks like you could use this as like a makeshift screw tray. All right, so here is the replacement bulb that I ordered. You can see this is labeled Philips. It supports 225 watts. It has a 0.9 arc and it's an E20.9. So again, those are not exactly the same numbers that I had on my other bulb. So it's going to be interesting to see if my projector is happy about this particular bulb. You can see right here, it's also stamped on the side with Phillips. Looks like we're going to have to even hook up the cabling. Sit this down and bring over the other bulb and try to pull this off. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to sit him on his side here. I believe I should be able to just push that flush. Okay. There we go. We got our connectors hooked up. Okay, so now just as before, we're going to orient this the same way. I will warn you that there may be some variances between all of these types of lamp housings. There's always a little bit of changes throughout the manufacturing, so your mileage may vary a little bit with this. So I am going to take my gloves off, but if you do that, just be super careful. Obviously, I'm not responsible for any accidents. There's actually two little pins in mine that go up through that. I think that's the first one you should put in. This one has two little grooves on each side that you can slide it back into before you drop the screw into it. This stuff's always harder to do on camera. I always end up with someone in the comments telling me how I didn't do something right. I'm like, it's just so hard doing this sitting behind a tripod, you know, when it's not like right there and I'm trying to look at a monitor and you know, it's going to be easier if you're not filming yourself for sure. Okay, and then this last one is very similar to the one that we just did. The two little grooves on each side. You know, and maybe a better approach would be to wait to put the wires on until after you have this thing mounted. Okay, everything is all snug and tightened up, I feel like. Just gonna put a little bit more on these just to make sure it's sitting in place. All right, now let's go ahead and put the back of this on. This little notch here, that's how you can figure out how to orient this. And then just kind of hold it, and then you should be able to drop in your screws. And we just have two more here on the top. All right, there we go. So then lastly, all we have to do is put the housing back in. This part, I don't believe the polarity actually matters on this because I have flipped it around before. If it won't go in, try it the other way. But yeah, I don't think it actually matters. Okay, so we're just gonna very carefully lower this in. You always want to be super careful. There are two guide pins on this side over here that sort of get it to where it's aligned. I would go ahead and get those lined up. Then I would tighten down this screw up here at the top. Should go easy. You should be able to snug it down. And then in here in the back, you should be able to just pop this guy on. Like just wiggle him just a little bit. And then this part will clip under here. Just like that. It actually clips right onto this little piece right here. Then once you've got that, just bring this piece just like this. And then you should be able to tighten down the screw that we first removed as such. All right, so here we are. I have the projector mounted to the ceiling, and let's cross our fingers. We are going to power this thing on for the first time. Let's go. Here goes nothing. Ooh, I see light. Already it's powering on. I did see the lamp exceeded warning, which that makes sense because we're going to have to reset it. But it's warming up. So the last step that we're going to do is go into lamp settings. Well, actually, I want to show you beforehand that you can see here my lamp hours were at 5568 on the old bulb. It doesn't know that we replaced the bulb. So we have to go in here to the little gear, go to lamp settings, and then go to lamp reset, say okay, and reset the lamp back to 0. And just to verify that, we should now be able to go to the info, and all of them are back at 0. I'm going to go ahead and run it in bright mode. That's what we ran it in before, and it did well. So it's definitely brighter right now. I haven't seen it this bright in a long time. Sweet! All right, so it has been a week since we mounted the projector bulb onto our ceiling, and I want to say it is as bright as ever. It's been working great. I trust that this was an OEM. Pretty happy about that because that's what I was going for. In hindsight, I think because of how bright this is and just because the cost wasn't that much, I think that I'm going to replace this bulb sooner than later. I don't think I'm going to wait next time until we're at lamp failure. I feel like the further you push a bulb, the more risk that you have of that bulb causing a problem for your projector. And depending on how often or how much you use, how long, you use your projector every day, that's going to vary for you. But, maybe 2,000-3,000 hours. Once the bulb starts to get dim, it's just so nice having a really bright screen, especially when you got the window open in your room. And it's just really nice to have all that vibrancy and everything. And I'm a YouTuber, so I like to have a good quality picture on my screen. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. It was a little bit harder doing this one than just one of the ones that you insert the unit, the quick install type, but I feel pretty good about it. There will be an affiliate link down in the description of this video. Be sure to check that out. Also, reach out to me in the comments if you have any questions, especially about like how long the bulb lasted or anything. You might be watching this video 2 years from now, so people in the future, feel free to ask questions and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.